before I forget. So I want to just talk about a few things before we go into this little networking power hour. The whole idea about networking is simply just you getting out there and engaging with people. Back in the day, you did one thing to build your social media, and 2 years ago, you did one thing to build your social media. And it's building your social media, like growing your following, but also bringing in people so you can have conversations with them. I have ADHD and I will not be able to, I get distracted too easily. But anyway, so there's lots of different ways to build your social media, do all of those things, but you have to be actually doing those things. I think that networking and getting your hands, I like to call it getting your hands dirty on social media, is something that a lot of people know they need to do, but they kind of avoid it because it's easier to check off the boxes of I sent my invites and I checked in with my challenge group and I did my to-dos and I did my meditation, and you should do those things. But especially with newer coaches, they think that the business is I post and people come to me. Attraction marketing was a thing that worked a bit ago. It really did. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, it doesn't mean that it's harder now. It's different now. Don't let it be an excuse, because even when I first started, it was different. But attraction marketing really isn't something that works anymore. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. Myself, Christina, and Colleen all have over 10,000 followers. And we are still actively going out there. Who listened to this past National Wake Up Call with Danae? Her and Mandy Kai crush it. And she's still out there inviting people, talking to people, having conversations with people. So what makes you think that if you're a newer coach or you're just doing your thing or you've been doing it for a bit, that you don't need to be actively out there engaging with people? Again, this is separate from invites. This is separate from, obviously these lead to invites, and there can be invites, but a lot of that is going to be in week 3, because we're going to be talking about right now we're talking about bringing in new people. At that point, we're going to be talking about how to serve people, and then the invitation hacks and the conversation hacks and the things that we do. But I just want to make sure that you guys understand that what we're going to go over tonight is something that you should be doing minimum 1 time a week, if not more than that, because you cannot expect to post and have people come to you. I share this with my team in my threads all the time. I have 19,000 followers, and sometimes I'll do polls, and I have about, on a good day, 1,500 people looking at my story. I can put a poll up and 0 people can answer it. 0 people. So just to make you feel a little bit better, but to remind you that just by putting posts up, that's not going to work. You have to be actively engaging with people and building that kind of relationship. And it's also about the energy. Obviously, people can't see behind the scenes that you're talking to people and you're building relationships. But if you're constantly just that person that's trying to engage with other people on social media, you're bringing a different energy to social media. Okay, so let's go over this. I know, bear with me, some of you who have been a part of the Networking Power Hour, I know you're like, I already know all this stuff. But I want to kind of go over this with you, and then we are going to do this. This is less about me talking and blabbing, and I will answer some questions, but it's really about us actively getting out there and actually doing stuff, because we all can do lives and teach you guys things, and a lot of you guys are actually taking action, which I love to see. A lot of you guys have tagged me in your IGTV. Shout out to everybody that made one. You guys are awesome. If you haven't made one, make one by the end of the week, and that's really good. But taking action is really what matters. So that's really what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to share my screen with you really quick, and just kind of briefly go over this with you. Okay, so this is a sheet I got from somebody in the round table, and this is something that I do with my team once a week. We usually do it at this time every Wednesday, but I recommend that you're doing this. Now, if you're doing this like multiple times a week, you are going to build your following. You're going to have really great conversations. So just going to go through these different things. So obviously engaging Instagram posts, and this is something that you're like, okay, I'm going to set a timer. I got an hour. This is not about sending invites. This isn't about anything else other than getting your face into people's feed and getting new followers and just either growing your social media or getting new eyes on your page. Because if you're not doing anything to get new eyes on your page, I don't care if you have the best social media post in the entire world that could go viral. It does not matter. I had a post about, I'm not even going to go into what it was about, but it was like 2 years ago, and it blew up. It, in a matter of 3 days, had almost 6.5 million views. It had like I don't even know, like thousands of likes and comments and whatnot. And like, I thought I made it. I was like, oh yeah, I got 6.5 million views. This is it. I'm going viral. I'm going to be the next like top 10 coach. Like I thought I had made it. And after like, I'd say a month, it completely died down and then nothing happened. That was it. That was it. People either came and they saw and they left and that was it. So just know that like you can have the best posts, but if you're not constantly bringing new eyes in, you're going to have the same 200, 300, 500 people seeing your stuff. And then you're going to run out of people to invite. And people, I mean, those people need to stick around. Some people need some time, but just keep that in mind. So number one is to create an engaging Instagram post. Hopefully at the point of when you're doing your power hour every week, you've already done that for the day. If you haven't, use the opportunity to do that. Create one new Instagram story poll. Pretty self-explanatory. But again, if you're doing your power hour and you haven't done it, it's a perfect reminder to do that. I really recommend doing polls that don't have, now you can do polls where it's literally like a hard ask. Like you're like, do you want to join my group? Yes, or I want more details. Or you can do like soft asks where you make them vague. Like I could share about 6 weeks of the work is obviously a really hard workout program. I could do a poll that says something like, were you a college athlete? Or maybe one of the quiz where you have multiple answers. And I could say, were you a college athlete? Like what sport did you play or something like that? And people could say like, yes, I could give the options like, yes, I was a college athlete and I totally rocked it. I was a college athlete, but I totally sucked or I sat the bench or whatever. People could say no, or I wasn't a college athlete, but I played sports or something like that, or I like sports. So have nothing to do directly asking, do you want to join my 6 weeks of the work challenge group? But it's very vague and more people are likely to answer that because people love giving their opinion. Then what I do is after it's been up for 24 hours, I look at the people that voted and I shoot them a message and says, hey, and I always do video message. And I can say, hey, I saw you voted on my poll about being a college athlete. Like, so was I. I played volleyball. I remember like double sessions in August. It was crazy, like hot mess. I don't even know how I did it, but probably because I was like 18. But I want to let you know, if you were into like the whole college athlete thing, we have a new program coming out that I think would be bomb for you, and then kind of go into my invite. So it's a perfect way to do that. So again, you can kind of choose what kind of poll you want to do, but that's an idea. 100 follow and unfollow. So I have this really cool thing that lets me share my screen with you guys. So I'm going to kind of show you what I do, the few different ways that I go about like following, unfollowing. Obviously seems really, really simple, right? Just go on your Instagram, follow and follow. Can I get a thumbs up if you guys can see my screen? Can you see it? Can I get a thumbs up from somebody? Is that good? Okay. So one way that there's multiple ways, easy, follow and unfollow. You want to make sure you're not doing it too quick. So while this power hour says 100 follow and unfollow, what I like to do when I'm doing my networking power hour is I just follow for the entire hour that I'm doing it. If I'm happening to look through something or do something, I will follow some people. So I'm not doing 100 follow right in a row because sometimes Instagram will flag you. So what I like to do is to make it easy too, sometimes I'll have lists of Instagrams that I know have a big following that I'm not going to invite to coaching, but have lots of likes and views. And I go right to searching their name. There's one girl, let's see if I have her. Okay. So let's say I do this girl. I've talked to this girl about coaching before. We got on the phone, said she wasn't interested. So she doesn't want to do coaching. Maybe she will one day. But what I can do is I can go to like her posts. I can go to her views. And literally, I know that her and I have the same type of network. We like to go to festivals. We like electronic dance music. We both dance. We do all this stuff. So she's going to have a similar following as me. So a lot of times what I'll do is you can either do like the quick follow where you like just follow. I like to just briefly look at their Instagram. So look, this girl's perfect. It looks like she used to live in Mexico. Look, she's working out. Boom. Okay. Following her. And so while I'm doing the follow, if I come across a girl like this, because sometimes I'm just going to follow someone and they have like, they're not posting about health and fitness. They're not doing anything like that. So I will just follow them. But with a girl like this, she's obviously like, her thing says like manifesting in here, which I love. She's posting that she's working out. So she's a perfect person to build a relationship with and invite to coaching later on. So I will write down her name, or I literally have in the notepad section of my phone this thing called Babes to Invite to Coaching. And I literally have my list of people that I'm currently doing that with. So I will literally add her. So what's her name? Bella. them. Yeah. Okay. So I'll add her to that list. And then every morning or every other morning, I'm going in and I'm going to comment on an Instagram story. Now, while I'm doing the follow, another thing that I do, if I come across a girl like this who I'm going to date, I immediately make sure I'm sending an invite or sending some kind of message. So I'll look at her Instagram and just find a way. I won't do it now because it's going to take too long to load, but I would send her a message off her Instagram story. I'm not going to say, hi, I just found your page. It looks like you like working out too. I do too. How's your journey going? No, that like worked 5 years ago. It doesn't work anymore. I would just message, like, let's say she posted about her dog and I'd be like, oh my God, your dog is so freaking cute. Like, what's his name? That's how I'm starting the conversation. So that's what I do. So then I will just keep going through people and I just look, like you can see, like, obviously I know this person's a guy. This person doesn't even have their Instagram thing. And like, this person's another guy. This person's another guy. So I'll just look at the people who are girls and look like I could possibly build with, like, okay, she's obviously going to festivals, so I'm going to follow her. So then I'll do that for maybe like, I don't know, like 30 follows. Then once I'm done, I'll do the unfollow. Now I'm not going to unfollow the people I just followed. So what I do with the unfollow, I go to the followers or people that I'm following. And then I'll just scroll to the bottom because usually the new people that you follow are at the top. I'll like scroll for a bit and then I'll just look for people who, because you can see, you know, the people who pop up a lot, people that you want to keep following or people that you don't. And I'll just look and sometimes I'll like, I don't know why I'm following this person. Like I'll unfollow. So then I try to unfollow. And especially if I get to the bottom, I'll just click like unfollow, 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 and just unfollow a bunch of people because if you're doing this networking power hour every single week, you do not want to be following 10,000 people. That's going to look really gross. You want to make sure that you're not that person who just follows a bunch of people. You want to make sure you're balancing it out with the unfollows. Okay, moving on. So leave 10 compliments. So again, I do this while I'm doing the unfollowing. So let's go back to here. So it says leave 10 compliments. So I will, you can do this through your own followers. You can do this through new people. I tend to like to do it with new people. So back to this girl. So it's a guy. So just kind of go through and I click on things and I try to comment on people that like are my people. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to comment on like a 45-year-old dude's thing. So I'll see. And I also, side note, like to follow people who are private because proof that it works. Emma, I'm sure she's on here. Emma's coach, Brittany Powers, you might know who she is. She's like 4-time elite, 2-time, 3-time top 10 coach. She was private when Emma found her and she just read her bio and like followed her and they build a relationship from that. But Emma could have looked at her page and said, oh, that girl's private. I don't want to follow her. Never mind. And that relationship never would have happened. And Brittany wouldn't be a 2-time elite top 10 or 4-time, whatever she is. She's awesome. She does amazing things. So I love to follow people that are private. I'll still go through and like when I'm checking my unfollows now, you can use an app that shows you like the people that followed you back. I really don't do that. Not saying you can't, but just a thing. So again, so that girl lives in Austria, not interested in her. That's a dude. Okay, super cool girl. Oh wait, I know this girl. So I don't know why I'm not following her, but then I'll go and I've actually watched this video before. Yes, girl, fuck it up. Oh, sorry if there's kids on here. So I'll just do that. Simple. You got it. Leave a comment. And leave a comment that's like you, your personality. Don't just say good job or thumbs up or emojis. Like share something that's going to be awesome. I also prefer to do it on Instagram stories because when you do it on Instagram stories, it sends it as a direct message. And sometimes your comment on their post that already has 30 comments is going to get completely lost. So I recommend when you do the comments, you do them on their Instagram story. So, okay, so I know her. Oh my God, I love her. Again, that's not necessarily a compliment, but you get what I mean. So again, boom, we're done. Let's say we did 10 of them. Moving on. 10 interactions with current followers. So I literally go to my following. And sometimes I'll do this with my inbox versus like my actual following. But so I go to my followers and then I literally just randomly scroll and then I pick people. And then like, I'll just and usually I'll comment. Obviously I don't want to do that because I want to make sure we get through this, but I like to comment on an Instagram story. Another quick way to do this is you guys see this like list right here. Do you see how some of the pictures have the pink ring around them? That means they have an Instagram story. That means you don't even have to click on their profile. You literally can just click on their icon. It's going to bring you right to the story and then you can comment on it right away. Love this. Okay, done. Moving on. And I just swipe down, move on to the next person. Now, you could, if you want to briefly check to make sure that they're not already a Beachbody coach, they're following you, that's one thing. But you can do that easily. So just so you know, you can just click that way to easily, quickly engage with them. What else? Like 25 photos. I don't bother doing this as its own thing because during this power hour, I'm already liking the pictures. Queue up Instagram posts for later. If you don't really struggle with getting your post out, I wouldn't recommend putting your time into this, because if you're like, I know I'm going to make a post, awesome. But if you're like, oh my God, I struggle to get a post out every single day, use the time to do this. Maybe set a timer, set a time 10 to 15 minutes to write a caption. You should not be spending 45 minutes to an hour writing a caption. I mean, even 15 minutes is a long time to write a caption, but you get what I'm saying. So bookmark a post. So this is another like kind of like not fancy thing that I do, but I like to go through like certain like categories. So I could go through like, I don't know, let's just say soy free. I like to do that a lot. So soy free. So I'll go through and you can bookmark posts for lots of different reasons. You can bookmark a post because you want to save it to your challenge group later. You can bookmark a post because it had a lot of really good comments on it. So like, for example, let's see. So this is perfect. This is a company that sells like this different kind of tofu, and it has 2,000 likes and 155 comments. I will sometimes bookmark a post, and then later on when I'm like, and I'll save it literally, I don't know how my brain works, but I'll save it for moments when I'm waiting in line at the grocery store or I'm waiting in the doctor's office. And like, I don't want to spend time finding another post to engage with. I'm just like, okay, I have my folder of saved posts. Let me go and find that one post that had a lot of likes and comments. And then I just go and I interact with people. So I'm basically saving myself for later on so I can interact with that post. You know, when you find a post and you feel like there's a bunch of good comments on it, that's something that I do. Okay, so tag a friend on a post is the next thing. So this is where when it says friend, don't just tag one of your coaches on your team. That's awesome, but that is literally going to do nothing for your page. What I recommend is tagging people who you're following and building relationships with that you're going to invite to coaching. Don't bother with people who are challengers, not that they don't matter, but you really always want to focus on building your team. So go to your list of people and like go see what they're posting, or if you're building a relationship with them, you might already have something in common, and like search a hashtag and like tag them in a post or tag them in a funny meme or something like that. And you can be like, oh my God, I thought of you. That's something that I would do, is tagging friends would be coaches that I'm prospecting and that I want to just build that relationship with. Follow back 5 of your followers. Very easy to do. Go to the people that are following you. Obviously, click on their page. The things I check first, they're not already doing Beachbody or another type of thing like that. They live in the United States and they're my people. That's it. That's the things I'm marking off. Respond to somebody that answered your poll. So this should be something that you're doing every single day anyway. But let me just share just in case people don't know. I mean, hopefully you guys know. But if you just go to your page, you click on this right up here, you click on insights, or no, not insights, just kidding. You click on archive, and then you go to stories. You can scroll back and see all of your posts. So a lot of times, sometimes I'll forget I do posts. Now, if you did a poll the other day and it was a poll to who wants to join my group, I'm sure you probably checked that like right after the 24 hours of stuff. But what I do is I go back to see, like this is a perfect example. I posted this last night. This is a show that I'm watching. I said, do you watch it? I can go back here, 17, 12 people. I will literally go through this list and find a way to start a conversation with those people. Based off of that, this is something that a lot of people are not doing. You're so concerned with only starting conversations with people when it makes sense for Beachbody and health and fitness that you're not thinking about simply starting a conversation from here. So I literally could go to the 12 people that said yes. Obviously, I know some of these people are coaches on my team, but I could message the person and say, oh my God, I saw that you voted, that you watch Righteous Gemstones. Please tell me that it is like the funniest show ever, because me and my fiance like cannot stop laughing at it. Like, it's hilarious. And that's how I start a conversation. That conversation can lead to us starting to interact, because maybe they don't interact back and that conversation never goes anywhere. Or maybe they respond back like, who's this person? This person's cool. Who is she? Okay. Oh my God. Like, super cute. Who are you? Why are you following me? Another thing that I do, and this is just mad respect for other coaches on your team, is always look to see what this is. If I see this as another coach on my team, or if I see it says followed by Colleen Curtis or Christina Battaglia, I'm not talking to that person. I'm not stealing other people. And maybe they haven't even really noticed that they're following that person. I just do it out of respect. There's billions of people on Instagram, and I don't have a scarcity mindset. I don't worry about that. But this is awesome. So look, I'm going to start. Maybe I've already talked to this girl. I don't know. Have we? Let's see. Oh my God, we haven't. Okay. So, oh my God, girl. Wait. I saw you voted on my poll yesterday for watching the show, The Righteous Gemstones. Seriously, that show is the funniest in the entire world. I cannot. I was gonna say a bad word and then I had to figure out what I was gonna say. Okay. Okay, whatever. So something like that. And that's literally how I'm gonna start a conversation. Now I'm totally gonna put this girl on my list. What is it? Fit Test Core? I don't know what that says. Fit Test Core. I'm not missing out on Homegirl. Sorry, I know I'm doing this with you guys, but I'm not missing out on her. And I always write people's name down. I'll be like in the middle of something, and if I see somebody's Instagram, I put them right on my notepad list. Okay, moving on. So follow 10 people, and you can do that for all of your polls. Like do them for the last, and if you do this once a week, then you can do all of your polls for the past week. So then you're constantly remembering to do that. So last one is follow 10 people suggested for you to follow. So this is in this space. Let's go to here. So if you click again on this thing right here, and you go to discover people. Oh wait, that's close friends. Discover people. It's going to show you people for you to follow. This is based off of whoever. Now, again, these are people, you want to make sure you see who else the person's followed by. So if you see somebody and you're like, oh my God, that person's really awesome, they could be followed by another person, or they could literally just be suggested to you because one of your coaches is friends with them. So make sure you're looking at that and you don't just hit follow. Just quickly click it open, see who they are, follow them. You know what I mean? So make sure you're going through, who's this? Okay, I already followed these two girls. Oh my God, another girl. See, when you have the positive energy around this, you attract finding people. When you go into your networking power hour and you're like, I guess I'll just go find people like Alexis and Colleen and Christina told me to do, but every time I try to find people, it's just Beachbody coaches. It's so saturated. When you do that, that's exactly all you're going to see. You're going to see Beachbody coaches and you're going to see Herbalife people and you're going to see all those people, but I like got this positive, good energy around this. So I find people. Let's go. Cheryl Girl Fit. Hey, Cheryl Girl Fit. Okay. Sorry guys, I gotta put my people down. Okay, so then let's see. Okay, she hasn't posted since July, so that's really not that great, but whatever. So I try not to follow people to do that. Who knows? Maybe she'll come back to Instagram. So you can follow 10 people that way. And then again, it says 100 follow and unfollow. So that's it. I want to leave some time for you guys to actually do this. So for those of you who don't have any questions, you get it, you got it, you're good. Start doing your networking power hour as I go through these questions. So you can like tune me out or you can listen to me if you want. And if anybody has any questions, like let me know, I will answer, but I'm going to try to go through these and then that will be it. So hopefully that was helpful, just kind of going through that. This is something that I do minimum once a week, but a lot of times, like if it's just like a random Sunday and it's 1 p.m. and I'm just sitting on the couch watching Netflix, I'll do this stuff too. Guys, this is how you grow your following. There is no other way to do it unless you're going to pay hundreds and thousands of dollars for ads or you are going to buy followers. Like the only way to build is organically building it. And yes, it takes time, but you either don't do it because it's time consuming. It's not even really time consuming because you bang it out and you do it. It's more of just like a tedious thing. But you either complain about it and you don't do it and your following stays the same, or you put your big girl panties on and you do it anyway. So let me read through these questions. And of course, if anybody else has any questions, we will do that. But like I said, if you're good to go, do it, do your thing. Okay. I see a lot of junk acts on Instagram and it's so annoying and distracting. How do you find real acts? I don't know what you mean by real acts. If you could explain what you mean by that. Maybe it's like some young and hip slang that I don't know what you mean, but I don't know what real acts mean. I don't know if you just mean like real G's, like real people. Maybe that's what you mean. I'm not sure. Okay. So how often do you network? So like I said, I do this minimum once a week with my team. We do it every week. And I would recommend like you can run it with your team. You can do it with your coaches. Even if you have 3 people on your team, like do it with your team. It's going to help you and it's going to help them. And I was not doing this a while ago. I was kind of doing this stuff, but now I make it like a thing. It's not just like, let me go network a bit. I follow this power hour. It helps so much. So minimum once a week, but I try to do it, at least another second or third time. And I do it for a full hour, but I'm also networking pretty much every day. Like when I'm doing my invites and stuff, I always try to network a little bit, but like this clear and concise, I'm actually doing these tasks and checking them off. And I try to, within the hour, do every single thing at the end of the day. What are your follow-up techniques? I'm having a hard time between doing two lags and feeling pushy. So I would like to answer this question, but this is something that we're going to go over in week 3 because I want you guys to focus on bringing in the new, and following up is more of with the people. So I would like to answer this question because I could talk all night long, but I've already talked a very long time. So I want to make sure that we get to that, but don't worry. We are going to cover all the follow-up stuff. Don't you worry, girlfriend. I'm at a phase in my life where I'm still figuring out who I am, and finding those people have been hard. How have you been there? Yeah, a million times. I'm there like every 3 months, like figuring out like, where am I? Like sometimes I'm like, I know who I am. Like I'm Beyonce, I'm amazing. Like everybody come and flock to me. And other times I'm like, I'm a complete failure. I hate my life. Like that's literally just like entrepreneurship. But a lot of times I'll share that. I'll be like, I can't figure out like whatever you're thinking about or struggling with, I'll share that or share it on my story. But one post that really does help me, and I try to find different ways to share it all the time. Even Christina shared something like that, I think yesterday on our Instagram, but I share a kind of post that's like, where's my twin at? And I'm like, I like to be in sweatpants 90% of the time, but I love makeup and a good pair of heels. I could eat pizza every single meal. I hate when people do this, or I hate when people do that. And I like share all the little quirks and things about me. And I'm like, where are my other girls at? Or I'm like, where are my other tall girls at? Where are my other this girls at, or whatever. And I'll share those things. And like so many people will come and be like, oh my God, me, like I hear you, like right back at you. So sometimes I'll share that to kind of like find other people that are like me. A lot of times when we tell ourselves we don't really know where we are, it's more of just us getting in our head, because there's things that we're interested in and things that make us us. We just have to do a little bit of digging. I recommend lots of personal development, journaling, and doing some self like discovery. There's a, what is it, roadmap to desire, or desire roadmap, or something like that. I know that book is really good for that stuff. So if you haven't done that book, it's like an active journaling book. I think it's called Desire Roadmap. Amazing for that. Yay for gaining 20 new followers. Go girlfriend. How do you find other single mamas? Wait, how do I find the other single mamas without the creepers? Do you mean like not finding old men? I'm not sure what you mean. If you could explain that, I'm happy to answer. I'm really not understanding everybody's questions. What do you do when people give you objections like time or money? So for me, I love the book Get Over Your Damn Self by Romy, whatever. I go through 2 steps in my head, no matter what the objection is. I don't care if it's time, money, or anything. My first thing is rephrase their objection back to them in the form of a question. I don't have time to coach. I'm so busy. There's so many things going on. Totally understand. And I also do feel, felt, found. I totally understand how you feel. I felt the same way, but I found that when I blah, 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 and then share why it's okay to be busy and still be able to do this. And I'll say, how much time do you think it really takes to be successful? And people are like, I don't really know. So I'm like, yeah, so you said you were busy. You don't even know how much time. So I'll ask the same things when people will say, oh, I just don't really have any money right now. So I'll do feel, felt, found, and then say, how much do you think it would cost to sign up? And they're like, oh, I guess I never really thought about that. So people asking them that in the form of a question always helps me get down to the root of what it is, because the simple objection of time or money, I'm not here to convince them to change their mind. It's figuring out, okay, why do they have that objection? What do they really feel? And you help them almost answer it for themselves. And then from there, it's kind of explaining the value in it and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I really just do those 2 things. How do you go about making sure no one is already working with a coach, not stepping on other coaches' toes? I mean, the only real way to do that is by seeing if they're like, if it says followed by somebody that you're following. If it doesn't say that, you can't just like go through their followers and like see if you can find another coach. That's like extensive. You can't really help that. But if you get to the point where people are like, oh yeah, I've already done Beachbody workouts. I always ask, are you working with another coach? That's my first question right off the bat, but that's really all you can do. There's nothing else you can do for that. And if they say that they are, I always ask, are you actively working with them, or do you just have a coach? And then I'm saying, have you had a conversation with them? Because if you do want to switch, you can, but I always like for people to work with who they're working with, unless they're not actively working. Do you wait to follow people until they message you back? It depends. I have very weird, quirky things in my head when it comes to like if I follow people or I don't follow people. It really all depends on what kind of conversation we have. If I message them and they message me back and I'm like, oh my God, big emojis, this, that, and they're like, oh, thanks. So they just give me a heart. I'm not gonna follow them. Like, I don't know. Like, I want to have I'm very big personality. Like, so I don't need people to do that back to me. But like, if I have somebody who's like, yes, a girl, and like sends me like a GIF back, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna follow you 100 times because those are my people. So it really all depends. I'll still try to have a conversation with those people, but I'm not as likely to follow them if they're not really giving me back the kind of energy that I'm giving them, if that makes sense. What's the most effective first message when you introduce yourself to someone? Do not do the same thing. Literally just comment on their Instagram story. That's what I send them, because I am not, the mistake a lot of coaches make is they try to find that first message and then copy and paste it to all new people and say, hey, I'm Alexis, just found your page. Let's build a relationship. I love to work out too. Like that stuff just does not work anymore. So I literally just be friends with them. Like I just message them off of the color of their pants or their cute dog or whatever it is, or that they posted that they went to a festival. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been to that festival too. Like last year, this person was like my favorite set at the whole entire festival. Like, who is yours? Like that. And it will just be different for each person. Back in the day, my message was the same message for each new person that I found, but I don't do that anymore because that doesn't work. So it's literally different for each person. How do you keep touching followers to build a relationship? So I try to just do the majority of my stuff through Instagram story. I rarely like and comment on their posts because everybody else is doing that. All the other Beachbody coaches are doing that. And I kind of talked about this in my video at the beginning of the week. I always ask myself in any situation in my business, how can I do this different than other Beachbody coaches? Because I don't want to be like everybody else. And everybody else is doing the quick, easy work of just liking and commenting on their posts, where people miss that a lot. So I pretty much do every 2 to 3 days. My process for building up to an invite, I'll just cover this because I know a lot of times people ask, and maybe this question's already been asked, I haven't got to it yet, is that I do follow-ups, like engaging with them or whatever, for about 3 weeks, and then I send my invite. I do not wait for the conversation to move to health and fitness. I do not wait for them to bring up that they want to lose weight, because that doesn't matter. I'm just friends with them. I use this when I teach my new coaches. I say it's the same example as, let's imagine that you lived in a house and you had a neighbor next door. You both walked down on a Thursday morning to both go get your mail at the mailbox, and you were like, hey, Susie, what's up? And you know your neighbor. You're at least friends with them. You know their name. Probably like I've hung out with them maybe once if they don't suck. And you're like, oh, by the way, I totally meant to mention, we're having this dinner party this Saturday. I'd love for you to come over. Like, don't worry about like bringing too much. Like, you can bring over something if you want, like bring a bottle of wine. It's going to be fun. If you want to do it, awesome. If not, no worries at all. Just wanted to let you know. That is exactly my vibe when I invite. So what I mean by that is I'm going to build a relationship with these people. I'm going to ask them what their dog's name are. I'm going to ask them where they're from. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then after 3 weeks, because that's my gauge, 3 weeks, I send them an invite that sounds something like this. Usually a video invite. Now you can do this with coaching. You can do this with challenge groups, but I'll just use a challenge group example. I'll say, girl, oh my gosh, I wanted to message you about this. I don't know if you're into this kind of thing, but I figured I'd at least let you know. I'm going to be running this accountability group at the end of the month. It's going to be badass, where we work on so much more than just fitness and nutrition. We work on mindset. I'm really big on self-love. Like, I just think it might be your vibe. Maybe it is. I don't know. You let me know, girlfriend. If not, no worries at all. I just wanted to let you know. That is my invite. So many times people's invite are like, hi, I've been following you for 3 weeks, and I would like to invite you to my accountability group. We are going to work on our fitness and our goals. How does that sound? That's not how you would talk to your friends. So why are you inviting like that? Like, I'm literally like, yes, girl, it's going to be badass. We're going to F shit up. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. And like, I'll send GIFs and everything, because that's how I talk to my friends. Now, you might not talk like that, but however you talk, put that into the invite. So I don't wait for them to say that they talk about their health and fitness, because my invite says, hey, I know this is random, but I just wanted to let you know. So that solves that problem. Okay. How do you pick girls to date? Because I've been trying to do 100 follower every week and I'm losing track of people. So I only put people in my Google streak when I've really built a relationship with them and I'm ready to invite and I'm putting them in there. If I'm kind of just doing my quick, engagements, it's usually just the notepad section of my phone because I can copy paste, put in Instagram, engage, copy paste, put in Instagram, engage. Very easy for me to do. But picking girls, that's not for me to answer. That's for you to answer. I always ask myself, would I want to hang out with this person on the weekend? Like, cause for me, at this point in my business, I'm not putting people on my list to invite to a challenge group. I've worked my business enough to get to the point where I can just send my invites and post and do those things. And I have enough people to fill my challenge group as challengers. I am focused on pretty much solely building my team. I can get 5 challengers without inviting to a challenge group, but that's just because I've done the work with my Instagram. But I do date people for who I want to be a coach on my team. And I will not date someone if I wouldn't want to hang out with them on the weekend. Now, obviously you don't know people that well, but that's really all I do. It's really all I do. And if you're losing track of people, that's just because you're not keeping track of them. So you have to find out a way to do that. And if you have people that the conversation really isn't going anywhere or you're not getting that vibe, then remove them off your list and keep moving on. And the thing I want to mention that I talked to my team about the other day, I have some people who are afraid to talk to more people or have more conversations, and they're not sending invites, not because they're afraid to hear no, but because they're afraid to keep up with the conversations, because they are afraid to be answering all the messages in their inbox. You want that problem, guys. I cannot keep up with my inbox. I respond to people, but then I have people responding back. I can't respond to everybody in one day. I want that problem. Do not run from that problem. You want that problem. Would you rather have the problem of you're talking to so many people and you lose track of some of them, or I mean, you should keep track, but you know what I mean? Like have so many people to talk to, or would you rather be like twiddling your thumbs like, oh my God, I don't have anybody to invite. So don't run from that problem, run to that problem. I hope this is helpful, guys. I know I'm talking a lot. Like, I don't know if this is like, you guys are like, oh my God, Alexis, please shut the hell up. Or if this is like helping anybody. I'm just trying to answer everybody's question. How do you feel the best way to find people when you are still trying to figure out who you are? So that's a really good question. I feel like I struggled with that for a bit. And I would just try to like lean into, you obviously like there's things that you are interested in or that you vibe with. Like just lean into that and make sure you're doing the self-work of reading personal development and understanding that sometimes that just takes time. It took me a while to figure out who I was in this business. I've been doing this for 6 years, and I would say it took me till 2.5 years in to figure out who I was. So if you are a new coach and you're like, I don't want to wait that long, too bad. You got it'll take you that long to figure it out. It might not take you that long, but it takes time. And the more you are actively in this business, doing personal development, leaning into your team, being involved, going to events, you'll find out who you are quicker versus staying on the sidelines, not really doing the work, because the whole process of everything will take longer. So just lean into the things that you do know and that you're learning about yourself and kind of go with that, I would say. But at the end of the day, it's just going to take time to kind of figure that out. How do you track when you start tracking who you're talking to? Because I kind of already talked about that. Like I said, it's like the people who I'm just kind of like having those soft conversations with, they're going in the notepad section of my phone. But if like I've already like talked to them or maybe invited them, they're going in my Google streak. I set a reminder and I do that. If anybody wants me to share, I have a 2-hour webinar I did on Google Streak and how I personally use it. I have it in my team page. If you want me to share that, let me know. I'll share it in the push group tomorrow, because that goes really, really deep into that. Okay, good. Alexis, how do you filter that list in your notes? Do you take, okay, so I kind of already talked about this, but yeah, so it's a lot of things in this business, especially when it comes to conversations and building relationships with people, is a lot of just about your intuition. I feel like I have a good intuition. I don't know if everybody has that built into them. You'll do better with it as you go. But I tend to just kind of see, like, if I sent the person a message and all they've done is like it for the past week and a half, not going to probably invite them because they have not even responded to me and they're probably not my people. And then I'll just delete them. Now, what I tend to do, and this is something that I've shared before, and this is, again, just a weird, quirky thing. It's not what you have to do. It's just what works for me. I just want to show you really. Ned, that's my dog. So what I do is I have people that are flagged. So I flag people who are Beachbody coaches on my team because I know who they are. I don't need to build a relationship with them. I already have a relationship with them. And people who like I know I'm not going to invite, or people who I've already invited, or people who I've tried to build a relationship and they didn't work. The reason why I flag them is because your inbox will get super full if you're having lots of conversations with people. It just will. And it'll start to malfunction if you just have a ton of people in there. So what I do is I will swipe and I will flag, and then once, twice, 3 times a week, I will go to my flagged message and I'll literally swipe and delete, swipe and delete. So it deletes the full conversation. Again, I do this with like coaches that are on my team because like I've already responded to their message. I still respond to their message, but I don't want that, like all of the things in my inbox. Now I have to do this every single week because I still have people that message me all the time. So the reason why I do that is because if you open the message, like let's say I delete vessel oil. So delete. So it deletes that conversation. Let's say vessel oil was somebody I was building a conversation with and they like didn't want to be my friend. So I deleted them. Their message is no longer there, but I see that they're flagged. That means in my head, if I happen to somehow come across that person in the future, I know they're a no-no. They either say, might not remember, but I know in my head, I've already invited them. I'm not having a conversation with them. They're already a Beachbody coach. They told me to F off. You know what I mean? So that's just like my way I kind of filter out people. So I don't have like, I'm able to remember, because I don't want to have all these messages in there because I could accidentally invite someone over again. And that's kind of just what I do. It's just a weird thing that I do. Now, the only downside to that is if you do have somebody who you flag and maybe they engage back with you, you might not remember like what your conversation was, and you could re-invite them again. So sometimes I'll like, if maybe they comment on my Instagram story, but I see that they're flagged, I'll go check their profile and I'm like trying to remember. And if I see that they're not a coach and I see that there's nothing else in there and they've already engaged with me, I'm like, maybe I already invited them. I'll try to find a way to kind of rebuild that conversation again. Again, if they're engaging with my story. So that's just something random that I do. That just kind of helps me make sense of everything. Yeah, Jessica, I always comment on people about their dogs. That's like how I start most conversations with people. So you're commenting on different humans than the ones you just followed? Yeah, so I will follow some people. I will comment on some people a lot. I do way more engaging with people and not following them because I engage with a lot of people. I don't want to follow every single person that I engage with. I just don't. But it does help, especially if you don't have a bigger following. It's more of like a red flag, not a red flag, but like a, hey, I'm here if you follow them versus just commenting with them. Yes, Amanda, what you said about most coaches won't request private people. So it's so it's not a big tapped market. That is true. That's why I probably follow more private people and I invite private people. Like when I do my 10 invites every single day, I go to my stories, I see who commented, if they're private or not, or like if they're private, like I send an invite automatically because I can't see who's following them. I can't see any of those things. So I just send them the invite. They'll message me sometimes and be like, I'm already a coach or I'm this or I'm that. I'm like, okay, cool. Love that you're a part of it. Like do your thing. And then I'll flag them and delete their message. With the power hour sheet, do you do a different box each day for the whole hour? Or combine boxes for the hour? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I guess this is done in results. I literally just do all of those things in the hour. I don't do it every single day. I do it minimum once a week. And then when I do it other times, like I'll just again, you can print this out and do a new sheet every time you do it. You can print it out. I recommend printing it out and getting it laminated because then you can do it on a Wednesday, erase it, and then if you happen to do it on a Sunday, you just erase it. Or you can literally just like put the check marks on your thing. It doesn't even necessarily need to be printed out. Oh, thanks. My energy has not been always this way. Like Christina said in her video, if you have not watched her live, please watch it today because it was awesome. My energy, like you guys should see my like team calls or like my welcome to my challenge group videos. I was like, hey guys, welcome to my challenge group. It's gonna be really fun. Like it looked like I hated being there. Like people were probably like, what did I sign up for? And the only way I've gotten this is in personal development. I missed where you went to see the people suggested for you. So I don't know how to use a computer. Sorry guys, I'm struggling. I'll show you something else while I have my screen shared too. Whatever, false, what? No. Get this out of here. Can you guys see my screen? Can you see my screen? Thumbs up if you can see it. Yes? No? Can I get a thumbs up? No, you can't? Okay. Just kidding. Now can you see it? Yes? Okay, good. So you go to your page, you click on this little line right here, and then you just click discover people. The other thing that I do in terms of like, now these aren't suggested for you, but another way that I like to find people. So I like to, let's find an account that's like fit something, fit whatever. I like to not find other coaches. Oh, wait, let's see this person. Fit and dedicated. So look, perfect. This girl's got 100. This is like the exact account like I would want to show you guys. There's so much that you can do with an account like this. So one thing you can do is you can click, like I'm already following her, but you can click this down arrow, and I do it with accounts like this. Fit accounts that have a lot of followers that I'm probably not going to invite. Not that I don't invite people like this, because I occasionally do. It still makes me throw up. But I will click this little arrow right here, and it shows you accounts that are like this person, that post the same things or have a similar amount of followers. So if you ever come across somebody who has similar amount of followers as you, or maybe you invite them to coaching and they're like, screw you, this is dumb. I will literally go to this and see other pages, and it'll show me people like them. So it's literally like suggested for you based off of this person. So I will click on them and you'll see they have a lot of other followers. But finding this is a gold mine, because I can literally like go down in the deep hole. So what I'll do with this is I'll go to one of her pictures that has like a lot of likes. So here we go, 2,000 likes, 157 comments. Let's find some people. I'll scroll down to the bottom and I just go through every single person. So cool, awesome. She likes pizza. Oh my gosh, airport life, follow, totally awesome. Okay, what else? Fitness Lioness, she's got 2 followers. 112, too much. But what I could do is I could say, oh, another 112 followers. Let's go here. She's totally more my vibe. Let's go again. Boom, comment. Let's look for some more people. Cool, 39 followers, still too much. Let's go to the bottom. Sometimes they put the people with more followers at the top of the comment. I don't know why. Okay, so let's see this person. She's a singer, but I could totally still follow her. So this person doesn't seem like they have a good account, so I'll go back. Oh, whoops. Does that person comment back to me? That'd be fun. I could have a conversation with everybody live here. So, and I'll just go, okay, this person's cute. Awesome. So follow, love her, go, and I'll go to her story. Let's see. What is she posting? She didn't really post anything. So then I'll keep doing that. And that's literally how I find people. And I just go through the people that are commenting. And then if I, again, happen to find another account that's really awesome, I go, boom, just found another girl. Let's go through her comments. And I literally will like go through this person's comment, and then I'll find a new profile, and then I go to, and that's how I find people. I do not spend any time looking through hashtags. I literally just do that. I think my screen went away. Where did it go? Yeah, it did go away. But I literally will go through the comments of the comments of the comments of the people. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. But that's really, really what I do. Wait, let's see what this girl said. She messaged me back. Oh, just trying to get on your level. See? Oh my God. Hey girl, what's up? Oh my God, stop. You are so on my level. So on my level. My level is a hot mess anyway. Oh my God, I can't type hot mess anyway. Where I ask people where they're from all the time. I don't care. Where are you from? Oh my God, emoji. I don't know. That's literally what I do. And then since they're engaging with me, I'm like, yes, I'm gonna go back and engage with you. Sisters will run to the other for you. Oh my God, so true. But actually, that's me for my sister, not the other way around. So if she's like engaging with me, and this is when I'm doing like my networking power hour, but like if she responds, I don't feel the need to like necessarily message her back right now this second. I'm going to go back tomorrow in the morning and answer all my Instagram messages, and I'll respond to her then. But if it happens to be in my networking power hour, then I'll like do that. So again, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, what else? You said there's an app that tells you who follows you and who doesn't. So I think I know Amanda, you're on here. It's like an app called Cleaner, I think. I recommend that if you do it, you don't use it to follow and unfollow people, because if you use any third-party app on Instagram, Instagram will flag you. It'll hide your content. It sees you as a bot and spam, and it won't be good. And I recommend, if you're going to do it, you need to like put your ego at the door and not give two craps who follows you or unfollows you. Like, don't worry about that. Go to it in a business sense, and don't be offended if people unfollow you, because you will drive yourself crazy thinking about that. Okay, creeper dudes that prey on single moms. I used single mom for a while, but kept getting creeper guys in the DMs. So yeah, I mean, when I talk about hashtags, like you can go through them. If that I always say, if the hashtag isn't working or if it's causing weird things, just stop using that hashtag. And single mom is cool, but do you think a single mom, if you want to find those people to find your page, do you think a single mom is going to Instagram and clicking on the single mom hashtag and looking through it? Probably not. But what kind of questions is she asking herself? People use Instagram as Google. So what is a single mom asking herself that she would go to Instagram to search for the hashtags for help on? Single mom family meals. Single mom morning routine. I don't know. Like something along those lines. It's like I like to always, because it's a lot easier, use the example of myself. I'm engaged, I'm getting married. So I could, instead of using like engaged AF hashtag, which sometimes I use, but like people who are like, I know I'm not going through the engaged as AF hashtag unless I'm looking for people. So other engaged girls are not. But what are they going through? DIY centerpieces, bridesmaid gift ideas. That's what they're going through. So you need to use those hashtags on your post. So when people are looking for bridesmaids gift ideas, boom, you pop up, and but they might see me and see that we have something in common. So you have to I always like to think the hashtags that I'm using, how would someone be using Google or using Instagram as Google and asking those questions, and use those hashtags on your page, and then you use the other hashtags to find people. Because there's two different hashtags you use. Hashtags that you use that it's not just that the hashtags that you are, it's because the reason you use a hashtag is because someone's going to click on that hashtag to find you. So if you use dog mom, why would someone be going through the dog mom hashtag to find, like, to look? They're not going to look through that, but they could use dog mom matching bracelet. I don't know. You know what I mean? So you got to think about way more specific, and don't just use like, vegan. You could use vegan breakfast idea. Again, use that on your page and find people that way. You found my old Instagram profile? Yeah, I think the last post I posted was like me at a festival. LOL. Is the book you mentioned called The Desire Map? Yes, I'm pretty sure. How do you get from just being friends on IG? Okay, I already answered that question about like, I don't wait to bring up fitness stuff, because when are you really talking to somebody in a conversation and they're like, you know what? I need to start working out. I mean, maybe they bring that up, but for the most part, they're not. And I literally just start my invite like, dude, because again, you're building that friendship with them. So when you send the invite, it's like, yo, girl, totally meant to mention this. Not sure if you'd be interested. It's not, no worries at all. That's literally how I send my invites. You're following 100, you're tracking all of those people. So no, I don't, if I'm doing my networking power hour and I'm following people all throughout the process, I only write down people who I know I'm going to invite to coaching, or I know I like want to build a relationship with. But again, remember, this is a networking power hour. This isn't just about invites. Honestly, this is less about that. And it's literally just, let me follow as many people as I can so they can see I'm following them and then come to my page. But no, if I'm following 100 people, I may be putting like 15 to 20 people at most on my list. The rest of the people that I'm following are literally just for them to come to my page. Hopefully that makes sense, because there's a difference. You follow some people because you're going to invite them later on, and then you follow other people because you just want to follow a bunch of people so they come to your page. And that's why you're doing the unfollowing as well. Okay, yes. Okay, it looks like, let me write that down. I will share the Google Streak thing as well. Shout out to everybody who's still on here. There was like 88 people, now there's only 77. How do you get the flagging option? Oh, maybe it's only a business account thing. So I would definitely, you have way more options as a business account. So I always recommend moving to a business account. I personally think. I never thought about following private people because I was someone who had a private profile. Yeah. I mean, I follow private people all the time. Um, I like to stray away from people that have health and wellness in their bio. Depends. You don't, it depends on like what they're sharing. If they're already doing Herbalife, if they're already a lifer of something else, you know, that's one thing. But this is something, I just had a mastermind call before I got on this. And we were talking about how a market that people are missing out on are the people who are crushing it at the gym. They're gym rats. They're probably never going to touch a Beachbody program, even though they totally could. Why can they not join your group and have Energize and Recover? Imagine getting 10 to 20 customers on Recover and Energize. That's like $300-400 a month. Yeah, they didn't touch a Beachbody program, but who cares? Like, they're still going to be awesome. I have girls right now that are doing kickboxing and CrossFit and like spin class in my group, and they have no interest in doing a workout program, but they are loving Energize and Recover. So please do not forget about those people. Obviously, just make sure they're not a lifer or something else. But you hear all the time people talk at like Summit or on National Wake Up Calls where they're like, I only did the gym and I thought Beachbody workouts were dumb, and now they love them. Yeah, Amanda, I agree. I try to stay. I don't use pretty much any third-party apps at all. They make me really nervous. So 3 weeks of relationship building in all ways. Do you make sure you are developing a relationship more with people on your coach list? Yeah. So like with people who I'm invited to coaching, again, like I said, I'm not really spending the time doing the invites to people who are like the challenge group people. I still do that, but that's more of like, I can do that from people like voting on my polls, or like I did a poll the other day asking about something about like my wedding venue, and I had like 100 and some people respond. I literally could invite a bunch of people to my challenge group through that by just kind of like slightly building a relationship with them or starting a conversation with that. But my coach people, yes, I try to ask them questions like, where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. Let's see if this girl answered. I asked her where she's from. She didn't see it yet. Okay. What keeps your ideal client up at night? Yes, faux show. What kind of questions are they asking when they wake up at 2 a.m. and they're just scrolling on Instagram? Yeah, for sure. And like, that's like something that I can promise you will help you be really successful. Obviously, challenge packs are always going to be the best option. Building your team is going to be really great, but to still have a customer base, like imagine, like I'll tell this to my team. If you have 10 people, or 10 to 12, I think it's like 20 people or 10 people, I forget the math, but it's like 10 people a month on 3-month BOD and Energize, that's $87. And you're making a 40% commission on the BOD subscription. I think that's like $220 just off of that. That doesn't include anything else. So don't forget about that stuff. It's important. Always lead with the challenge pack, but I always let people know, if this doesn't work for you, let me know. I just want to get people in the door because it's just getting them surrounded by everything. Okay, so this was awesome. Does anybody else have any other questions? Because I would love to just like stay on and keep talking, and I totally can answer questions, but I don't want to keep anybody too much later. I know for some of you it's a little bit late or past your bedtime for my grandmas out there. Anybody else have any other questions? Hopefully, like I said, this was helpful. I know we talked about a lot of things. Yay, glad to hear. And shout out to all of you guys for crushing it and completing the task. In case you were wondering what post we picked where the one where you had to make your graphic and you had to put your goals on it. You had to make the graphic in order to get the invite. So shout out to you guys. So keep crushing it in this group, guys. This is probably my most favorite push group I've ever been a part of. I feel like it's really awesome. And like, we're only like barely halfway through, which is really cool. So stay engaged. Don't check out. I know we get busy, but like, you can make this a priority. All of you guys have already been making a priority. And keep in mind with this networking power hour, like I said, I do it with my team every Wednesday, but like, make it a non-negotiable to do that. Like, if you made it a non-negotiable to do it like 5 times a week, like, oh my gosh, you would totally blow up. So just make sure that it's like totally a non-negotiable for you. Awesome. Yay. I know. I wish this group could last forever too. But maybe if it's really awesome and it goes really well, we'll run it maybe later on, right before the end of the year or the beginning of the year. So awesome, guys. I will let you go. I will share this recording in the group. Obviously, you guys have already been on it, but you can always rewatch it. But make sure if you talk to anybody else that they don't share it. I can't necessarily control that, but you earned the invite. People who didn't, not that they're not worth it, but they didn't. Yes. Oh my God. Thank you, Amanda. You always like remember things. I don't. Let's do a picture first if you want to. I'll do like a little boomy. Okay. Everybody, I'm going to give you like 5 seconds to get your face on. If you want it, I'll do a boom and try to like click through. Okay. All right. If you want to get your cameras ready. So great hanging out with everybody. Okay. All right. Is everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. I think I only got 2 pages, but whatever, it works. Awesome, guys. Peace out. I will see you in the group tomorrow. I hope you have an amazing night. Bye.